to realise that anyone can tell you what happened at Tobruk if they know their facts well enough. But there are some things that we will never understand. What the soldiers were thinking as they went into battle. What they got up to in their spare time, what they laughed about, what they were afraid of. It's these things that we can pass down through stories, and it is our right to keep the pride of Australia's history alive in the generations to come. But without these stories, that pride won't reach those generations. It is these stories and the way that we tell them that keeps the history alive.
Put on a guard for our colonel or general in Cairo, and 3 of us nicked out to the pyramids to see what went on. And who should be out there was a miserable little old fortune teller. And he read our palm by hand.
And what did he say?
And he said, "You're going into battle twice more?" I said, "Oh, we've just come out of Tobruk." "No," he said, "you're going into twice more." And that was right.
Whoa.
El Alamein, he said the short one and a long one. And El Alamein was short, New Guinea 8 months.
Wow.
And he said, you're like 2 girls. And anyway, he said, after you're going to get married, you're going to have 4 children. The eldest going to be a son.
Was it correct?
Then he said, you're going to come into money. That I would come into money. That all fell true. So that our fortune teller, I don't know what he told the other 2.
Well, so everything he told you came true.
Hmm?
Everything he told you came true.
I
So
haven't got the money yet.
Oh, you'll get there.
you'll get there.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, I must tell you about a young officer who came in as a reinforcement. He landed in that night. Now, this young officer was posted to one of our platoons in the Red Line. And when he got there that night, he said, are you going out on a fighting patrol? Which they often did. We used to go out and belt up the enemy. We'd come in by day. And they said, yes, but you're not going. And he was a fine-looking young officer. And I don't know what happened, but I was ordered the next morning to take out 2 Bren gun carriers because there were 2 badly wounded men. And unfortunately, owing the night before, the Germans had laid a minefield out in front. We didn't know about it. And in the front of the minefield, there were 3-prong, what they call 3-prong jumping jacks, and they were a container. It was trod on those, and it bounced about 1 metre and explode. There was shrap in it. And anyway, one of them trod on one of these on this unknown minefield. Anyway, we brought him in, or them in, and of course one of those 2 badly wounded was this young officer. And he died that night or that day. He never lasted 24 hours. Now the message behind that was, you never volunteer in the army.
Yeah.
You do as you're ordered, but never volunteer. So that was one first lesson. And one night we came home and there was a little aircraft used to come over every evening. We called him the Milkman. Single pilot. We reckoned he was armoured well underneath because we couldn't bring him down. And this night we were coming in and he dropped some bombs on us and we were enveloped in dust. And they saw us, they said, oh, the Brimgone carriers have had it. Anyway, we came out of it, and that night, Lord Warhol, who was he was a traitor from England, and he went to Germany, and he used to give the news every night, Lord Warhol. And he said, tobruk, unfortunately, there's been a light armoured unit knocked out, and we didn't even get a scratch, so we had to laugh on him. We heard a rumour that the Germans had landed there, and we didn't take much notice. Then all of a sudden we saw a great big heap of dust, a dust storm. And underneath this dust storm was a heap of tanks coming our way.
Wow.
And so we had nothing to fight them with. And the order came through, get in the vehicle and get going. And that became the Benghazi handicap, which is not very good in the war. Now, 8 months we were there, which became the longest siege, and also it's the first time the Germans had suffered a defeat. Prior to Tobruk, they took Belgium, France, and Holland, and they used the same tactics. Dive bombing, artillery, tanks, followed by infantry. And our general, Moore said, he anticipated where Rommel would attack in our perimeter. And he had the guns, 25 pounders, and the Italian guns, tanks, camouflage, and they let him come in, all right. And when he came in, they said fire. And they opened up on the tanks, knocked the tanks about. The infantry attacked the infantry, and the poor Germans had to, as the old saying, had the tail between their legs, had to go out. And that was the first time the Germans had suffered a defeat. And I believe Rommel said, who are these bloody Australians? During our siege, we lost 776 got killed, 2,112 wounded, 62 missing, that's a terrible word, missing, and 924 prisoners of war. So we suffered quite a bit on that. Now that's roughly the story of my involvement.
They should not grow old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. And at the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember.